Hi everyone. This is a quick screencast that should help those of you who haven't blogged before to set up your accounts in WordPress. Again, we're going to use the blogs this semester for a once weekly reflective entry. And sometimes it'll be video based, sometimes it will be text based. You have that schedule inside of your syllabus so that you'll know which ones are due on which days. The point of using a technology here isn't to ram more technology down your throats, but to also think about the merits of being able to have access to one another's minds, to be able to develop some more community as a cohort, and also, which is if you guys need more community as a cohort, but to also do something a little bit better. In the past, we've asked students to write in reflective journals, literal black and white bound journals, and they lived on a shelf in your classroom or they lived somewhere in your bag. By going a little bit more public with your practice, it allows more of us to have immediate access to your thinking and for us to be able to speak with one another about our thinking and your practice and the things that are developing in your courses and all of your learning as a teacher. And it also gives you a different kind of an artifact to be able to rely on and fall back on. So here's how you're going to set it up. What you're looking at right now, again, is that class blog that I've asked you to join. You should have gotten an email about that this week. You got one in December. The one this week is asking you to be an author. That'll make more sense later on in the course. For now, I want you to bookmark this URL. See it up at the top of the page, pitinged1112.wordpress.com. If you bookmark that, then you'll be able to very quickly get to this page every time that you're on that individual computer, or if you're using some other service, every time that you access that site. The blog role, which is here on the right-hand side, is where we will add the links of everyone's blogs once they've been created. So shout out to James and Jay and Elisa for getting those to me early. Thanks, guys. I will add everyone's blog address or URL to this list as soon as you email it to me. And it will be organized. I'm pretty sure it comes alphabetically, though. Yeah, it comes alphabetically. So the next piece that you need to do after you've bookmarked this site so you know what it is to go to wordpress.com. So I'm already logged into WordPress and I need to log out in order to walk you through the same steps. So wordpress.com, when you come to it, looks just like this. You're going to click here on the orange button that says Get Started Here. Should be pretty straightforward. At this point, the most important part of the process is giving your blog an address or a URL, a name. We've talked a lot about this before. We talked about it in the context of when you were setting up your Twitter accounts. Having a well-defined and well-named blog is really pretty critical. It's your choice as to whether it's identifiable and it includes your name, but you also want to be sure that you're being professional about what you choose. That's what I mean by that. So keep this part smart. If I'm setting up a new blog address, I might set up English teacher, or maybe I can call it Pitt English Teacher. What I like about this site is that it will tell me if something is available. When you get that green check, that's a good thing. The thing I don't like about this site is that it's going to ask you if you want to spend money. Answer is no, you don't want to spend any money. Stick with the free bit. So no thanks, I'm going to keep the free address for now. Set up your username, set up your password, confirm that password, give it your email address. You need to give it an email address that you actually check because as you're setting up your blog later on, it will prompt you when people have commented. If you set up that feature, it will shoot you an email anytime that there's any kind of posting or traffic on your blog. It's really important to have that part right. So I'm going to go ahead in and create a quick password. And I'm going to give it my email. I'm blogging in English. I want the free blog, and and I press Create Blog. Should be that simple. Might even be faster for you if you have a faster setup. Okay? An email is going to go right to my PIT account. So I'm going to pause this recording and go grab that activation. Once I clicked on Activate Blog, it took me to this site. This allows me to set up an aggregator and do other kinds of things inside of WordPress. Right now, I don't want you to pay a lot of attention there. I want you to go to your blogs. Every time you log on to WordPress, you'll have the option to go to your blog. So you'll see PIT English Teacher, the site that I just set up. If I click on it, I'll see what it looks like online right now. Not too exciting. No content really on it yet. But when I cursor over the title of it, up here in the upper left side, I can click on Dashboard. Dashboard is your control panel. From the dashboard, you'll be able to set up everything on your blog that you have access to. So the first thing I always end up doing, perhaps this is a little silly, but it works for me, I like to go over to Appearance and play a little bit with the themes. I'm not big on the default themes. And there are lots of different choices of themes and backgrounds and pieces that you might want to use. Again, ignore the ones that are green because they cost money and we're teachers and that's not an option. Look for something that you like. Look for something that's clean, that fits what you're going to be doing. And I'm going to give it a quick scroll down. You could spend forever doing this. And when I do this with kids in the classroom, here's a place that they use a lot of their time and a place where they lose a lot of their time. I'm just going to very quickly choose to activate something that looks pretty simple, just to model for you what that means. I've chosen it. It's updating and taking a long time because my internet connection today is a little slow. And now it tells me what the theme or background or design of my blog looks like. If I want to make some changes to it, so you'll see along our class website that I have places where along the side in the widgets there are recent posts, I think that we're actually going to have a word cloud in there based off of the tags you use, all of those bits. You can tinker and play in this part as much as you want. It's entirely up to you what your blog looks like and how much time you spend here. It's all up to you. You could choose to spend no time there and it would be just fine. If you click on Settings, this is the next part that's really important. I want you to click on Settings and Privacy. 3 options. Allow search engines to index this site means that you are as public can be. Ask search engines not to index this site. Well, you can read the fine print. I choose for these right now to be private, visible only to people that you've shared the link with. If you would like to make this something that possible employers might be able to access, then you can add this link to your resume. If it's something that you'd like to keep private just for class, keep it private just for class. Most of the blogs that I do outside of the ones for this program, I do ask that they not index, or sometimes I make them more public. It depends on what it is that I have to say, and it depends on your comfort level with what you have to say. For now, for this one, I'm just going to show what it looks like to choose that it's private. And I select those settings. When you go to post to your site, you'll see that WordPress in their infinite kindness has already created a first post for you. I always trash that because ultimately it doesn't say anything and it's just some extra fill. So by clicking trash, it makes something go away. To create a new post, you click Add New, and from here, it works just like you were working in an email program in some regards, in that you're going to put in a title and then this is where the content of your post belongs. Hopefully that part makes sense. You have the option to set up categories. Think of those like folders for putting your posts. You have an option for tags. It's great to use the program tag here. And I might also say things like reading, writing, questions, weekly reflection, anything that you want to tag it so that it helps you organize it, feel free. When you're ready to go with it, click publish. After you've published that post, it will appear for anybody who has the URL of your blog. And you will have access to one another's URLs, I'm speaking too quickly, simply by going to our class blog and using that blog role. So here's what this first post looks like. Here's what this first blog or this sample blog looks like. I would then, if I were a student in the class, send this URL to Dr. Cater so that I can get it added onto our class blog role. From there, we'll be able to talk with one another by writing comments in response to different posts. And we'll talk more about that when we're in class next week. But for now, get your blog started, get it set up. Send me an email if you run into any kinds of trouble, because I'm happy to help with anything that you need. Good luck with this, and I look really forward to what you have to say and having this conversation together.